Well, hi, it's the day after my last video, and we were talking about fuel tanks, and so this may end up being a bit of a short video, but just to show you where I think I'm going with this. Fuel tanks were made originally out of what's called turnplate, and turnplate is steel with lead and tin film on the inside. I don't see much of the lead and tin on the inside of the fuel tanks. The three that I've got here are absolutely rusty, and my original one has actually got quite a lot of rust and holes in it. To buy a new one, mild steel, they look fairly unappealing. And they're about, I don't know, $750 from the UK. You know, you can add $100 to get it freighted, and aluminium is about $840 plus freight again. So you're talking close to $1,000 for a tank. So my thinking is that I may make it, and I'm thinking aluminium, and because that's not going to rust, corrode. We got a new Jenny at our men's shed. It was donated by one of my mates primarily, and it's a deep-throated Jenny as well. I've got a very short-throated Jenny, battery-driven. The one he bought is about a 640mm throat with a bunch of wheels, which are actually really great, and I think, well, you know, you can put the strengthening ribs right through that, you know, without having to worry too much about depth of throat. So the Jenny, of course, is for American, Canadian, whatever, is a bead roller. So I'm going to take a serious look at that. If I do make it, I'll have to CAD it. I've got SolidWorks at home, and I'm going to have to take one of the tanks upstairs and into my little office and you know, measure and CAD it all out. So I think that'd be an interesting process. A little bit worried with the end fittings, you know, soldering brass to aluminium, because the fittings would need to be brass. So there are some areas of, you know, that would concern me a little bit, but all in all, I think it's doable, and I think it's an interesting exercise. So let's take a quick walk around to the three tanks I've got, and I'll just show you where I'm at and what I'm doing, and a comparison between the three. Remember, original ones were but turnplate's very expensive as well, and I just don't know where I can get it in Australia, if they make it at all. Well, I have seen references to it, but that's about it. Where you actually buy it, get it, I don't know. And if I had to get a special sheet in to do that, it would just be a fruitless exercise, because nobody wants to pay attention to somebody who wants one sheet of. Alright, so let's take a little walk around and see what gives. Also, I'm going to drill those 3 holes, you know, for the rear end. Whether I do that today, I don't know. Just at the moment, I think I'll concentrate on where this fuel tank business is going, and if the weather holds out. Again, a very nice, bright, sunny day. The wind isn't up, so let's go. Okay, so this is where I finished yesterday, and I've marked here for the where is it? Where are you? I've marked here for the fuel line, I've marked here for the electrical cable that comes to the back, and I noticed that a couple of them have got clips here. For some reason I didn't get clips, and there's another hole here, which is the single lead that comes to the float level. Okay, so we're talking, I might have said 55 litres yesterday, it's actually 54.55. So, you know, 55, 56 litres, but when we cut it, it'll tell us what the volume of the tank would be once we've done that. What concerns me is the filler. You know, yes, this can be done, we can weld that and so on at that angle, but this here, this little end fitting is a bit difficult, so I need to think about that one. Okay, this has been severely patched, so obviously it's not usable, and I showed you that yesterday with all the bog, which I said looked like liquid nails there, and it's been leaking somewhat out of that as well and rejected, and you can see that by the paint that's been lifting off there. So let's go to the next tank. This is actually my original tank, and you can see that there are certain depressions in it. Well, no there's not. Oh yes, there is. Here you can see the X line there. Very light impression on it. The end fitting here is nothing like an end cap type fitting, so I don't know what I'm going to do with that. I'll just stop you there. Okay, so where was I? The other side of this one's got a lot of rust and holes in it. So, and again, you rattle it and you can hear all sorts of stuff inside. So, no way can I use any of these tanks. And now let me take you to this one here. This is the one I cut open, so you don't often get to see this. I just wanted to see the layout of the baffles and also the intake little line that's on that side there, that little tube there, that's the intake, this one here. Okay, so again you can see, and of course this pan here that sits at the bottom, that's probably to keep this a little bit off the bottom, and so you're not raking up, sucking up dust and dirt and stuff like that. So no way could you say that this was a turn plate. Okay, and it looks like you can see how it was made here, just cut out in a pan, and that pan is nothing like that pan there. You can see they're pretty straight lines, and that one's riveted on, and so if it's riveted on, it must have a fuel sealant of some sort as well. So you can see there are 3 baffles. Okay, so that's interesting to note, and then the pressings here aren't anything like, not one of them's the same as the other. So yeah, that's it on that. Okay, and then back to this one again, which is probably the most complete of them all. You can see the pressing here, the big X. Okay, that's about the only thing that these fellows had. And again here I might have a degree of difficulty. You can see that's been riveted and also then sealed. And then of course these here would be brass fittings, and they would be soldered on. Alright, and this is the one with the number. So again, of the 3, it's the only one that's got a number, and as I said, that's been plugged up. So obviously the fuel has been working its way through corrosion. They then patched it up, and then it's come through again, and so that's it. So what I can do now is go and drill some holes for those fittings, still try and get the fuel line here, so that we can make the thing work. Okay, let's just stop there for a moment. And finally the holes. This is the electrical cable. I've got a grommet in there. This will come over here, something like this, and climb up this leg here until it goes off into the rear end. That's the fuel line, and that's the float switch. Okay, so that's as far as I've got so far. And again, looking from this side, as you can see, it's going to need clips, and so grommets and clips, and that's it.